Probably
the
now
pledge,
it's 6
please?
o'clock exactly.
I'm sorry?
It's 6 o'clock exactly.
Thank you. You're absolutely right. Again. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Garber.
Here.
Mr. Bruno.
Here.
Mr. Irwin.
Here.
Deputy Supervisor, Mr. Douglas.
Here.
Mr. McDonald is excused. Mr. Farrell, Highway Superintendent. Mr. Tatro, Water Sewer Superintendent. Mr. Gwinnett, Zoning and Building Officer. Codes Office. Our guests
This is not.
and myself.
Town clerk.
Oh, Mr. Flynn is absent, and Mr. Christian has his resignation.
All right. Number 4, we need a motion and a discussion to accept the reports from all departments, water, sewer, downpour, highway, town clerk, dog control, youth department, code, zoning, supervisors report, the court website, JCO, banking reports. Missing is the JCO. She's gonna get that April.
Our internet was down pretty much all day here,
Yeah.
and she went home sick,
Yeah,
so when it did come back up, she wasn't here.
she was pretty busy
She'll
there
get it
today when I
tomorrow.
stopped, we were lined up, so,
Yeah.
okay, thank you. All
I'll
right.
make it.
Go ahead.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We need a motion to approve the minutes for the town board meeting on June 27th, 2022.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Bruno,
I'll second.
Mr. Lewin, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 6, community input. Do we have a sign up there, Dan?
Anything on there? We do. There's one. Nobody's on it.
I was asked on behalf of Pat Remillard to ask about the road blockage at Sullivan Road. And I did speak with Mike Farrell earlier today, and it's all good. Just so it's on the minutes that I did ask for Pat.
Yeah.
What, I'm sorry, it's Sullivan Road block?
Yeah.
What it is?
It's where the intersection of Sullivan and Telegraph, where they're doing the culvert. Yes, he
I think
did.
you got that all covered, right? We're all good.
We're good. Mike gave me a satisfactory
Yeah, I ran
result.
through Matt, and then I gave Brandy the update. We did what we had to do to keep it close. That road is technically turned over to Love Brothers, it's their liability. They're not willing to change anything, which I don't blame them. It's only 5 minutes more or so to go around. It is what it is.
So it's a legal barrier after you spoke with Matt. Okay.
All set then, Greg, I guess?
I am. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay. Number 7, we need a motion and a discussion. That's the approval of the PA sentence. This is payment number 4, I believe, for the Lagoon decommissioning, right?
I'll make
You're
the
pretty
motion.
satisfied. You're pretty satisfied with what they've done for you. Motion by Mr. Bruno.
Second.
Second by Mr. Barber. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay. Number 8 is an approval for Love Brothers payment number 1 for the Telegraph Culvert project. Any questions on that?
Paperwork in here on it?
Yeah, I don't see any of that stuff. I missed
Number
it. 7, 8, 9, 10, I go right to 12.
You know, I didn't put it down.
That's okay. I don't know if we would have looked at it.
It's already been approved by,
Make the motion to pay Love Brothers. Okay.
It's 100
Mark DeCrescente.
159,000, something like that first payment.
I can go get it.
It's not an AES job.
It's not an AES job.
It's
Not Metcalf.
Let me go get it.
No,
engineering measures.
thank you though.
Any other questions? Okay with it?
Actually,
Make
none
a
of
motion to
them.
pay them.
Second. Mr. Bruno, Mr. Sherwood, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. There, number 9 is a motion, discussion, approval of Watt Brothers to change directives number 1 and number 2 for Telegraph Culvert project.
That is, the footing changed from no ledge, so they give us a discount to no ledge, and then for the concrete in place, and the change is $75,000, so
More?
save a little money versus, the precast, but
The first one was negative 24,000, Mike,
something like that.
And then this one is a added change of 75.
Very good. I'll make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Bruno,
Second.
second by Mr. Barber, all in favor.
Aye.
Mike, you've been kind of going down there, I guess, and
Yep,
watching how it is every day.
Are they putting the footers in yet? Are the footers in yet?
no, they wait for rebar, I'll give you when we get there.
All right, so number 10 is a motion, oh, sorry.
Okay.
A motion and a discussion approval for Rifenburg's payment for number 14 for the sewer line upgrade project.
Actually, that one was approved last meeting, but we're paying it this, I messed it all up.
Yeah, but that was already approved. And
So we don't have to,
We have the final payment on that yet?
No, you won't until, the final payment will be the retainage.
The bond?
But that's after a certain period. They usually make the retainage go out a year. On normal construction jobs, I'm not sure what this one will be.
normal.
Well, and the other outside construction world.
Yeah, we've already done it.
So we're all good, and that's just,
So,
that's,
there's no motion needed, correct?
No,
Right.
thank you. Number 11 is a motion and a discussion approval of a new computer purchase for Cole's officer. Bob, you wanted to, I know I talked to you today. You might want to-
Yeah, so- Probably a week and a half ago, 10 days ago, I was having some issues, and it kept restarting, and it came up with some errors. I had Trevor from Layer 8 jump on the computer remotely to check some things out, and he said there's errors on there that, and this machine it's been here since I've been here, and prior to me, it was pretty old. And with so it's restarted, it just needs to be replaced. It's tired, and it's restarted on me every day now for the past 10 days.
Have an idea of what the cost is?
Yeah, it's 700. They had $719 or
I think,
yeah, $719.
Is that laptop?
I have a laptop.
no, it's a
This is a
desktop.
monitor?
This is just the tower.
Okay.
It's the tower. So everything else, it's just the tower. It needs to be.
Okay.
It's just a bare bones. It's no CD or DVD. It's just a one. The only thing it does have is a little upgraded graphics card because of the programs that we use.
Very good.
That's it.
I'll make the motion to approve the new computer.
Mr. Bruno? Mr. Bruno?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
So
Okay.
basically, Bob, you needed an updated tally.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Number 13, the resolution and the discussion.
12.
Sorry. 12, sorry, I already checked that off, didn't I? Resolution and discussion for that's the USRD loan resolution for the sewer project. Dan, can you just kind of touch on that a little so they know what?
So this is the final approval for the third increase. and RD has to have this, so they will increase our loan, our low-interest loan through them, which will pay back the bond that we took out after the project is complete.
Any questions?
The job that keeps on giving.
So we get a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Bruno,
Second?
Mr. Barber. All in favor?
Aye.
No, a resolution of the town board of the town of Peru authorizing and providing for the incurrence of indebtedness for the purpose of providing a portion of the cost of acquiring, constructing, enlarging, improving, and/or extending its sanitary sewer facility to serve an area lawfully within its jurisdiction to serve. Whereas it is necessary for the town of Peru, herein often called association, to raise a portion of the cost of such undertaking by issuance of its bonds in the principal amount of $5,765,000 pursuant to the provisions of subject to New York State local finance law, and whereas the association intends to obtain its assistance from the United States Department of Agriculture in the planning, financing, and supervision of such undertaking, and the purchasing of bonds lawfully issued in the event that no other acceptable purchaser for such bonds is found by the association.
Very good.
All in favor of that?
Aye.
It's a roll call.
Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Irwin.
Yes.
And Mr. Douglas.
Yes, sorry, Chuck.
It's all right, we'll keep you on board, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay. Number 13 is a resolution and discussion. We have a letter from Mr. and Mrs. Allen. He called me up a while ago and said due to his health and stuff, I'm not going to read it, but he's been doing this for 19 years. And he just said that at this time it's too hard for him to, he's, has a hard time to get around. So with deep regret, as far as I'm concerned, accepting his resignation because he's been very, very passionate about this historic work, especially the old schoolhouse and stuff. So I need
I'll make it.
Mr.
I'll second the motion
Barber
to accept that.
and Mr. Bruno.
A resolution accepting the resignation of Ron and Carol Allen from the town of Peru historian's position effective July 31, 2022. Whereas Ron and Carol Allen has recommended the town board accepts their resignation offered July 11, 2022. Therefore, be it resolved, the Peru town board sadly agrees with the recommendation of Ron and Carol Allen to accept their resignation and thanks them for their unwavering dedication and past service to the town of Peru. Their resignation will be effective July 31, 2022, and be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
And Mr. Allen?
Yes.
So I see the other letter from,
No.
Yeah, she sent me that Sunday.
so what do we do to go about hiring her? Do we have to put that position in the paper or anything?
It's a volunteer position, I think, right?
It is a volunteer?
Yeah,
Has a budget.
With the budget.
just a budget for
For bell towers and.
but not a PS line.
Okay.
No.
Now,
Second. Is what it was, that's what Ron had.
Yes,
she did talk to me a while ago, guys, and
I see that. She said
at that time, Mr. Allen and Mrs. Allen thought that they were going to be able to handle it. She is quite well versed in a lot of the historical stuff that's going on, and she's very interested. Mr. Allen also said that she could get quite a few volunteers.
He gave her a good letter of recommendation also.
Yep, yeah, he said that. And Rick, I don't want to put you on the spot, but Mr. Allen said that you might have, you've got some historical stuff that he said it's been to your place or whatever. What we'd like to do, and you can talk to her.
There's plenty down there she can start with.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's my point, and we'll go, I mean, I'm sure she'll do a good job.
Yeah, 2 rooms down there.
I'm sorry.
There's 2 rooms
Yes,
down
there
there.
is.
A lot of organization.
Right, and, but, you know, I think that there's a lot of history down there, and from my point of view is that we could get that someplace where people could see it. I'd like to, yes, I know she's not here tonight, but if you could talk to her sometime and tell her what our intent is, because there's a lot of history in them rooms down there, and Rick, you know, and you guys all know that it's just a hidden treasure, as far as I'm concerned.
I think it needs a good cleaning from what Robert
Yes.
said
does.
before
Yes.
she goes in there,
Right.
like cobwebs all over.
My only thought, my only thought on that, Pam, is if we start cleaning, then maybe, for me, I'd like to see her down there to see, you know what I mean?
I'm just talking
Oh, well, yeah,
cobwebs and
Oh,
dust and that.
yeah.
So
I don't
She
mean,
needs to apply for this position, we approve it, and she's underway.
It's, I guess we could, but it's a volunteer position, and we don't
We
get,
could, can we
I mean,
appoint that
we could-
now and get this moving?
I think we can because she wrote a letter to us right
as
here.
far as I'm concerned, if you guys want, and.
She
he-
was- she was the director of Clinton County Historical Association.
Yeah, we see all that, but it says, she says I would very much like to apply for this position. I make a motion that we accept her application right now.
I'll second that motion.
Yes, because she brings a lot of knowledge with her, and, I mean, she's been excited to do it.
Did he turn his keys in?
Not yet, he won't be done till the end of the month.
Oh, it said July 11th.
His letter is dated July 11th.
Oh, he goes to the 31st, I got you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Rick.
and I could pick them up.
Well, there's a computer too, right, Pam? There's a computer somewhere.
Laptop?
We had bought a Macintosh probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe more. I don't know if it's downstairs or if it's at his home, but I had a huge, pretty big screen on
I
it.
didn't look at it.
I can call him, Dan, and we can find.
I mean, I don't know where, it may be downstairs, I'm not sure. But
Excellent.
we should probably check and see if there's anything down at his house possibly that just hasn't been moved over or whatever too.
Okay, thank you. All in favor of,
So we're accepting Helen's position as of August 1?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
and I'm sure that once she finds out, she will be up there anyways, because.
She's out of town right now, her sister's gone.
Oh,
So
okay.
she's not.
She's not back till the 22nd.
She's not back, that's what she emailed me yesterday.
Okay.
And, so,
Yeah, but she will be and you'll send a thank you card or something, thank him for his service, but also, as far as I'm concerned, 19 years he's been doing it, I think we should either do some kind of a little plaque or something, please, thanking him for his, Pam, you're in charge of that. Thank you.
And
Anybody want to do it? Pam, raise.
Give it to Brandon.
I think you're the liaison to the story and maybe it should fall upon your shoulders.
Not Brandon, but,
John Seaprick, she volunteered.
oh yeah.
I love that.
Courtney usually gets volunteered.
Yeah, thank you, Pam. You know I do.
He's gotta clean the rooms downstairs, he's all set.
Gotta give her a hand.
Rick and corrected that, now we have to do, correct, with the motion for town, we don't want a second.
Okay, so we need a separate one.
We need a second, because Craig made a motion to accept Helen on this.
Yeah, and Mel seconded.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think,
Yeah,
yeah.
you did. I did
That's
that.
okay, that's
You
all right.
beat me to the punch.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
Welcome
guys.
aboard, Alan.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
And goodbye, Cliff.
Okay, number 14, resolution and a discussion accepting the dog control officer's resignation. Need a motion?
Make the motion.
second by Mr. Barber. And I think when Cliff came today, he said that the gentleman that was gonna take the job, that
He's interested in the job, yes.
you're, okay.
Chaka Scalionis.
We're all gonna have a job.
Well, yeah.
So when you get the job, I'm gonna say, and your name is?
Do you have any, a little short name? We can call you, hey, Joe. Yeah, there you go. That sounds like it.
A resolution, oh,
Go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
resolution accepting the resignation of Cliff Christian from the town of food dog control officer position effective July 31, 2022. Whereas Cliff Christian has recommended the town board accepts his resignation offered July 11, 2022. Therefore, be it resolved, the Peru Town Board agrees with the recommendation of Cliff Christian to accept his resignation and thanks him for his past service with the town of Peru. His resignation will be effective July 31, 2022. And be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Travis?
Yes. I think before we go too much farther, you have a good idea what this job would entail?
He's told me a bit about it, yeah, but obviously I need to tell me a little more.
Yeah. I'm not
May I
sure.
make just a suggestion?
Yeah.
Janet down in the Department of Agriculture needs to be notified. And there's this whole window and whatnot. She might be your go-to too, because there's just certain things that I know that's required. Because when we had a lapse, she called me and told me that we had violated, and I said, no, we didn't violate because Brandy was doing it. But in saying that, she might be a go-to too, because she's the head honcho. So that might be really helpful, and also to read our local law, right, Jim?
Right. And the thing of it is, and just me, for me, I think that maybe this is quite a position there's a lot to it. How does the board feel about maybe setting down, I mean, we've got till July 31st, setting down and talking to you. We do have another meeting. I just don't want to take, for me, just say, hey, you know, here's a job, and then you're going to say, well, I didn't think it was this. And then
Did we post it last time after date? Did we post it for 5 days?
We don't have to.
Did we last time when
We
Dave
did.
retired?
We
Yeah,
did, but she checked and we
we
don't.
checked because that's where Janet came in, because there was a little bit of, and so,
Okay.
She's with Ag and Market,
Yeah.
and she's the one that comes around and, you know, she kind of checks on it. So, that's my only feeling, that you guys, you know, maybe a couple of us would sit down and talk to you. Our next meeting is the 25th, is it?
yes,
Yeah. And not that but I just don't want you to go into this and us appoint you. I mean, I don't know if I've talked to you about what any salary or what all this is entailed. From my point of view, I think that you need to be refreshed on what the dog control.
Have you been on any calls with Cliff to see what it entails?
He's had me go just kind of look for him, just to see if I saw him dog, I was here to see if I saw him, but I don't think I maybe like that.
Okay.
He's described it though, but
Yeah.
again, you don't really know it until you actually do it.
Right.
And so would somebody else who want it, or a couple of us, sit down sometime and talk to them and just.
We should do it before the next meeting,
Yes.
so we can get him okay.
Right. That's what we got 2 weeks. and-
Definitely, Ron, we got interest and we're not waiting for somebody.
Right, oh, I'm glad of that, man.
Stick
Don't,
around.
don't think that I'm just trying to, for me, I just don't want,
Right.
just say, hey, we're gonna appoint you, and then you say, I didn't think you had to do this, because it's,
line up something in his schedule, get in touch with one of us, find out if maybe.
Whatever, good for me, I'm only off Sunday and Mondays, and in the evenings, I'm free anytime. If you'd like to sit down with 2 or 3 of us, and we could pretty much, tell you what our expectations are, and, it looks great on the outside. And I'm not trying to discourage you, please, but I just don't like to sell somebody a bill of goods and then say, but it's a good job, and the people in Peru are nice.
Depends on, and it also depends, going now, because I'm very involved with the dog control officer, because I do the dog licenses and all that good stuff, and I've had 2 different dog control officers. So having one go down the middle would be awesome.
So,
Yeah,
and she's
in
the
that
one
sense.
that, if you can, and I'm sure you can, if you can work her with Diane, because she's the one with the license,
And we only live around the corner from each other, so that makes it even nicer. You can just call and say, Diane, I got a dog, but,
yeah,
so,
but I mean,
it makes a big difference. It's a communication thing, and Cliff was good with me too, and Dave was good to me, and we just worked really well.
but,
There you go, give Jim Douglas a call, meet him any evening, talk to him.
What's that?
He'll give you a call, meet with you.
So, if you take and you pick some evening, and if somebody else would like you to come and we'll talk to you,
Sure.
just let me know, okay? Thank you for showing an interest.
He drinks Stewart's beer too, man, so be careful, it's horrible. It is the worst stuff in the world. 50 cents a game.
Thank you, Mr. Bruno. All right, number 15.
Yeah, baby.
Resolution and the discussion accepting the amendments to owner engineering agreements for the wastewater collection upgrade project. You want to give us like a little input on that for me? Pam, oh, I'm sorry. Or Pam. Either one of you.
Okay. So, what did he say? It is the engineering amendment number 2 for the wastewater collection systems upgrade, which is the new project, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Sounds good.
It's got a whole description.
Yeah, it's all in your packet.
Yeah,
Some of
I
it
got
is
it
for
here.
unforeseen issues with the existing part, with the NA, N9 line. Extra costs due to SWIP inspections having to go through the winter. New York DEC didn't allow them to do a winter shutdown. Extra RPR inspections because the construction season went longer. And then for the work on Elm Street that's coming up.
And that date, June 15th, 2018 is
Is the original contract.
when it first started. I just wanted to know if anybody has any questions. Okay.
And this has all been discussed at prior workshops.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were waiting for the
I just want,
COR 3
Yep.
through RD.
just want to do that. Any questions, or do we get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Bruno?
Also,
Mr. Barber?
This is crazy number.
A resolution approving the AES amendment number 5 to owner engineer agreement project number 4671 for wastewater collection upgrades contract dated June 15th, 2018, and authorizing the supervisor to execute the same. Whereas the town board has the AES amendment number 5 to owner engineer agreement number 4671 for wastewater collection upgrades contract dated June 15th, 2022, and related items before. Therefore, be it resolved, said proposed amendment to the owner engineer agreement is approved for the modification to services and modification of payment to the engineer and the town supervisor is authorized to execute said agreement. And be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Garber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, number 16, discussion, Telegraph Road Culvert Project update.
Okay, Walt Cooper from Mud Brothers sent me an email today. They will be moving back in next Monday. The holdup, like everything else, is the rebar, getting supplies. That's why they pulled out. So they'll pull back in next Monday. They're scheduled to come in. The rebar is scheduled for the 21st, which I believe is Thursday, next Thursday, or a week from Thursday. So that project will go. As of the last phone call with Camp Precast, the 3-sided concrete boxes are still in schedule for the first week of August, somewhere in there. First two, but they're still on schedule, so.
Mike, is this gonna have a natural bottom or is it gonna have a concrete bottom?
No bottom,
No,
natural.
Natural bottom.
Yeah, that's what they want now. That's with the Army Corps and DEC, they want natural bottoms, kind of like back roads,
Yeah.
same thing.
Better for the fish? Better for the fish?
Mike, what's the time frame after those three-sided are installed?
I think it's scheduled to go through somewhere at the end of October, first part of November. I don't think it'll take that long. Once they get them in, it goes pretty quick, but I mean, the large culvert, I think it's 24 pieces. You know, when it's coming from Vermont, and whether or not that can come in a ferry or if they have to go around, I'm not sure. You're only going to get so many truckloads a day, I mean,
Yeah.
so
So that road will be closed until October?
that's what it was initially. Now, whether or not it goes that long, I don't know. Like I said, once they're in, it doesn't take long to button up. Because you've done the bulk of the work, everything's, you know, just dirt road, put it back together in your blacktop. Very good.
But October, November, are they gonna beat it for blacktop and being shut?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're only talking 2 days. For 1 day for binder, second day to top.
Okay.
Good. Thanks, Mike.
Number 17 is Sewer Lagoon Elm Street project update. Courtney, you're up.
Not too much to discuss. They're still working at the lagoon. They're probably on truck number 14, I believe. It's going a little slower because they're on the thicker end. I'm going to say maybe they're at 70% clean, 70, 75. Elm Street, nothing has happened with Elm Street. I haven't got any start date from Luck Brothers. I assume they're still waiting on material. And the other sewage collection project is pretty much buttoned up with the exception of having issues with the generator at Maiden Lane that a technician was sent up. It still has not been corrected.
That's,
You know what the problem is, or?
I don't know. They came on a day that I was off. I tried to get them to come another day, and that was the only day they were available.
So they're gonna come back?
I was out of town.
they have to come back?
I messaged Chuck messaged Sterling, and I haven't got a return.
Is the pump
I mean, they're good that they have a warranty on it. They gotta come
Yeah.
back. I just don't know when.
pump doing what it's supposed to do? It's something more
The
technical?
generator, after it does its weekly test where you have a power outage, it goes into a failure after it shuts down. They're saying it's just a programming issue.
Yeah. Is it shutting everything down when it goes into a failure, or
What's that?
just shuts everything down?
It
or-
goes into the failure when it shuts down.
Right, but it
So
doesn't,
today, when the power went out, it actually did start. It ran the pumps, but when it shuts down, it goes into alarm. We just have to go reset everything on it, so
Okay.
it's ready for next. Other than that, the silt fences have all been pulled, facilities.
cool.
Thank you for coming. The fire went out today and Courtney came over and the generator didn't start right
That
now.
one here didn't start.
I'm sorry?
I said the one here didn't restart, I reset.
Thank you for coming over. Okay. We're down to other business.
Yeah, it is.
First with Mike, do you have any to report on?
The only other thing is, going to state meeting, Wednesday in Saratoga, and then next week, Phil Sexton, he's a salt brine expert, is gonna sit down with myself and Brandy, and we're gonna come up with a plan for this salt brine and pre-treat the road. This will be his second trip. He doesn't sell the equipment or anything, just to get us going in the right way. It will hopefully get some money out of this. There's no guarantee, but the only other thing is, like everybody else, fuel budget now is in the hole, and we still got 5 months to go. We haven't hauled sand yet for blacktop, but everybody's in the same boat. It's price of fuel is double.
You're gonna be hauling a lot less sand if you go with brine.
Well, yeah, he wanted to start with one run initially. I'm going to talk to him because we're already doing 2 runs with straight salt now, and then the Peasleyville run, that's the new truck is coming for. That is set up for salt. That's where we got the stainless box. So I really like to, at least do the 2 runs, if not start a third. And in the meantime, the salt brine, the actual one that sells equipment, he came out a week and a half ago or so, and Old Sable, Blackbrook were there. Unfortunately, town of Plattsburgh, they're kind of in with us. They had a Dick Safe school where, they paid for everybody to go to it, and they were already committed. The guy just brought a little unit that goes back to pick up this, to give you a basic idea. When that initial demonstration was done, I was expecting this town hall Sable superintendent to talk to me, Pat Akey. We had a little mini meeting, and he's pretty interested, doing maybe like a shared service deal, which would be great because we could share the cost of the brine maker. We probably have to buy an extra storage tank. Sounds like we're talking initially 2 5,000-gallon tanks. We would add a third, and do we would each still have to have our own sliding unit to treat the road, because you can't, there's not enough time to do 2 towns. But he's interested, but they don't, he was gonna run it by his town board. They only have a meeting once a month, so it's gonna be a little lag time, and it's almost at a point where, with 7, 8 weeks to get the equipment, he's got some of it sitting in the ground, but, it's not cheap, so I'm hoping maybe next week this guy will offer some money, but there's no guarantee in that either, so if not, I don't know how we're gonna pull it up, just because of what's going on with the fuel and everything else, so we may end up waiting budget for it here, but I'd really like to get into a ditcher, because I think it's gonna save us some money, there's no doubt in my mind. I've researched it for quite a few years now, and I'm really hooked on that stuff. But it is what it is, so basically what I got.
Is there a chance he could let you know, or not? Is there a chance he could let you know, Pat, Akey there?
Yeah, I'll probably see him, I stopped this morning, but he was out today or something, so I'll catch up with him. I'm not sure what days they have their meeting and what time of the month, so just have to break it. And I can run down and talk to Sandy too myself, so.
Yeah, because she could give you a good feel.
Because I know they're screening sand and, like everybody else, it's a busy time of year right now. And he was just talking like one run in the village to get started, basically we are, but we could split the cost of the brine maker. I think that's, it's like 20,000 somewhere in there, don't quote me, I mean, that's just a rough price. But to get it started, we'll make it a lot more doable.
Let it, man, let's go.
Good.
If they decide to go.
Anything else, Mike?
No,
Courtney?
I don't have too much, I told you about all the projects, the only other thing is currently we have payroll in town doing the contract for the camera inspection. We had New York Rural Water here last week, 2 days doing camera inspection. Ended up having trouble with their equipment, so I only really got about a day out of them. But if you do see the truck, it was out on Bear Swamp today, and they might, if they have time, I don't think they will, because we only have 2 days, they're supposed to do some smoke testing. Residents might see smoke emitting from manholes on that end of town, the south side of the bridge.
They were out,
I don't think they're ready to get to that.
Just blame it on Neil.
Unfortunately, they had issues today, so they didn't get much help.
It was a bad Monday,
Was it bad?
Anything else?
Thought it was Friday.
Dan?
With the power outage we had this morning, our internet went down, and Chad came as early in the morning, and he had to replace the Sonos firewall, got that back up and running. My internet worked, but nobody else's didn't, so he came back with a new switch, the bigger box in there, and that was a little after, it was probably almost 5 o'clock when he came back. And he got everybody else's internet up here. He was then working on the SCADA system for the water plant, and he's also getting the Wi-Fi, all the ubiquity points for Wi-Fi back up and running. And he was working on it tonight, and hopefully it will be completed sometime tomorrow. But he said it was crazy. Their office was, everybody was running around. It affected a ton of places, not just us.
Is this gonna happen every time we have a power outage?
No. He thinks that the firewall may have been going a little bit, but he says normally it doesn't. He was wondering if it, instead of a power surge, it may have been a low voltage. Am I saying that correctly?
Brown out.
That probably did it, but he doesn't know exactly right at the moment, so.
Is that,
So,
is all that stuff, is that part of the contract?
I believe so, yes.
That's what I thought, so does it?
Excellent.
That's good, thank you.
Oh,
That is definitely one of the best investments we've made.
And they're good,
Yeah.
and they're always right here when you call.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Which is
no matter
great.
what it is.
Good. Anything else?
One of our bands had to, C3 had to back out due to the 24th of July because one of their band members had to go to California to take care of his parents. So Kevin Connolly actually found me another band, Friction, that'll be filling in for them on July 24th. So otherwise than that, the last one, or last night's was well attended for, he says what, probably 200?
Not too long.
So it's
Excellent.
going well.
Courtney was on call. Thank you, Courtney.
It was,
Yeah, there was an issue with one of the breakers, is that also?
I
Yeah,
appreciate
so
that.
any circuits outside are supposed to be ground fault protected. Unfortunately, that can cause problems with some equipment.
Surges.
I mean, the electrical's all new, but if there's anything in that equipment that there's a slight leakage, current to ground, not coming back, it get tripping. So the only thing I can do is Sundays replace the breakers, possibly take the ground faults out, put standard breakers in for the band. Back.
Yep. So when you get, I hate them ground fault breakers.
It should be a nuisance. I mean, some bands, if, their equipment's all great, you don't have any issues, and, this
Yeah.
band was an issue before. It could be just something in one of the amps, or,
We get into some moisture with this.
it's not an overload issue, because I came out and my amp broke down, and they're running nowhere near 20 amps. 3 amps.
Thank you, Courtney, appreciate that. Bob, before I get to you, John, I'm sorry, did you have any questions on anything on?
Payment number 14 there in Rifenburg, do you have an amount for it?
It should be,
Isn't that the public comment yet?
Oh, well, I.
Is it in the
I
minutes?
don't, but I
2,000
didn't, sorry,
possibly.
I didn't ask them on their business, and community input.
It's right there, Di, on
You
the,
did it on the pen.
What's next?
if you hand me the thing, I can comment.
I'm gonna run this meeting, you just,
Here.
yeah, for you. Thank you.
Oh, the biggest, one of the biggest things, I'm sorry.
John, well, I'm sorry.
Diane's looking for his answer.
Okay.
Cologne was out
Yeah.
Friday. Rick's locks could not come back today, so they're both coming back tomorrow. So Cologne is giving us the fobs for free instead of 12 something a piece, because we had to wait so long, and he's also, they had to replace the back lock and the front lock, and that's what we were waiting for till tomorrow, because there was a certain, because of that lock the way it was, when you opened it, you could hear something clack against the thing, so it was missing pieces. So that should be done tomorrow, and everybody's fobs will be working.
What about our keys?
Has everybody got their,
What do we do with our keys?
Thank you.
The keys, I believe we're gonna have a new set, or a new key for each of us for the doors. The inside doors all stay the same, except for Di's and mine. And the old keys will go away, and I believe we'll be getting a new key in case there's a power outage like there was this morning, because the locks, the proximity key won't work then. So I believe we'll be getting a new set of keys for everybody, for the back and front door and the JCEO downstairs. But it should be totally completed tomorrow.
Perfect.
everybody get their little, congratulations?
I do, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Bob?
I'm sorry, they also suggested, Tony Colon also suggested that there be nobody coming in after hours unless it's a meeting. But he wanted to probably discuss it with some of you guys. You know, if there's a meeting, that's one thing, but he's just suggesting that nobody should be in the building after hours, after regular business hours.
I come in on Sundays to get my timesheet or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I have an
I don't-
issue with that, for
Yeah.
me. I mean, you know, because if you got mail in there and you're working, or you can't come and, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, because I want to drop my timesheet off so it's on time, and sometimes it has to be on a Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, why is this?
I think he's thinking more nighttime, I'm not sure.
And
He'll be in tomorrow if
I mean,
somebody's
you know,
around.
we've never had an issue with the key, so I don't know why it would be an
Yeah, I
issue,
don't
you know.
yeah, I don't either.
So I'm not in favor of that.
No, man. I
You
want to be able to
Rick?
open whatever I want.
If you limit,
I'm sorry.
if you limit your metal key,
Yeah.
and everybody has key fobs, everything's gonna be logged in the computer when somebody comes in the building.
Correct.
If you hand out more metal keys, that defeats the purpose of,
Right, no, I know.
you know, so if everybody gets a metal key, they
Yeah.
can use that rather than the fob, and you have no tracking
No.
going where.
No, I want to stay with it, right.
Limit the metal keys, I agree with that.
But, I
Right,
mean, we
yeah.
could use that and come in anytime. I mean, if Greg came in on a Sunday or whatever. But
Yeah.
use, like, I know what you're saying, use that and not the key, because you're defeating the whole purpose of that.
I'm not sure if he's just gonna issue master keys for those doors once the new locks are in, or exactly what he's talking about. Because again, if the power does go out, like it did this morning, you know what I mean, I don't know. So I think
Yeah.
we'll clarify that tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Or maybe he can give one of you a call and,
We shouldn't need too many of them, though, department, just the people that work there.
that Ken?
That's it.
Phew.
Promise.
Bob?
The only thing I'd like to talk about, just briefly, is the complaints that my office has been getting regarding the burning of the apple trees at Hamilton's. But briefly, it's just it's a DEC issue. They've been involved, and I spoke to Neil Hamilton. He called me last week, and Matt LaCroix is from the DEC office. He came and spoke to the contractors, investigated the piles that they're burning. He didn't have any issue with it. So I know it's certainly a hot topic for folks, and there is some inconvenience with the burning. But one thing I will say was Neil had some good points. And one is that certainly they're not burning all the tree, because a lot of it is being made for chips, wood chips and such. But the other thing is now with those trees gone, that's going to eliminate the spraying that they've been doing for how many years, for at least a couple times a week. So, but again, it's a DC issue, and they haven't had any problem.
The burning is completed now. We finished yesterday.
Okay.
They may have a little touch up.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's all I have.
Yeah, and I think, like now you said, they're done now pretty much, right?
For the most part, yeah.
And so-
It's just,
So what really initiated was
Social network.
Mulberry's, no, I'm sorry. Mulberry's maintained that orchard for years, and they're not going to maintain it, and that's why, and Seth Florence came to Neil and said, listen, if it's not going to be maintained, there's a chance of disease and such affecting their orchard, and that's why this happened. So,
normally you're not burning trees with leaves on them.
yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
trees going back in, Bob, or?
No.
It'll be a-
Got to be a minimum of 3
It's gonna be a
years
wicked
before you
drift.
put trees
Problem.
back in there. That's-
3
You
years?
take a look, some of it's already gone.
Some of it is, yeah.
You shut down my free eggs too.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Chicken coop.
Hey, buddy,
that's it. Thank you.
hey, we are down to other business now. Rick?
Do it. Yeah.
I'm good. Mr. Bruno.
Just a little sad that no one from the youth commission is here tonight for the third time in a row. Be nice if they participated so the communication keeps going. That's it.
Also,
Okay. I have one little Pam put in here. Pam, it was sent to Pam. It's a letter informing the town of Peru that you will receive the remaining 50% of the American Rescue Plan Act. That the first one was $354,000, and we're going to get the remainder of it. And this says here,
Courtney's gonna.
second 50% the summer of 2022. Is that they're saying?
Yeah, they didn't give a date when they're sending it out, but as soon as we get it, I'll let you all know.
Well, at least we got it coming. Better to have it coming.
Courtney's got it.
It's already spent, we better have it coming.
Yeah. I wasn't even going to say that.
Mike didn't get any share of that at all, man.
Okay, public comments on agenda items only now, John.
I got it, thank you.
Okay.
Hang on.
Diane, did you have anything? Sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to. It's all good.
Do you have anything?
There's a whole bunch of little things going on. Courtney got the stamp for the concrete. He got some stuff from Fuller's, so he could stamp it. So it's just the combination of getting things all lined up. Schweigert's was off last week. They're working this week. So I believe it's probably getting sandblasted sometime this week and painted. So it's just a matter of just little things.
Forgot about the stamps.
stamp.
Stan.
One other thing, just in case you guys don't know, Pam, where are we on that appraisal?
I don't know, she didn't bring that up.
That's for that 125. The guy that Matt had suggested, don't have time, won't do it. So then Brandy was going to talk to Lagoon. Is that who?
Larry Cromie.
Cromie.
I don't know if he did. He was gonna talk to Larry Cromie's wife, who's also in the real estate business. The gentleman that we had, or that Chris Marin had do the first one, the guy from Senesac or Lake Placid, that wasn't acceptable. It needed to be USPAP, which has a whole list of things that has to be done for their real property tax, or their real property office at ASME. And she did say that we were not to buy it before the appraisal was done.
Right,
So we're kind of in a catch-22 because the owners are not happy.
I know.
So I'm guessing when Matt comes back, I'll text Brandy and see if he got a hold of that Larry Cromie. The gentleman who had done the first one does not want to do the second one. He said it was done over 6 months ago. I thought he could just amend it. He had all of the information to begin with, but he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to.
So we're back at square one.
Does anybody know?
If anybody has any insight on a real estate appraiser that could work rather quickly, that would be great.
Craig or Matt, you guys know?
I think Brady would be the guy to ask on that. He's in the real estate business.
I'm not.
Okay. Okay, we are down to number 20. Paying the bills. We need a motion.
Make the motion.
Mr. Bruno. Second? Mr.
Resolution authorizing the post audit payment of certain claims, bills, and invoices to the town. Whereas the town board has reviewed and audited the following claims, bills, and invoices for services rendered and goods provided to the town in July 2022. From town approved vouchers in July 2022, 2022, 00826 through and including 2022-00901, abstract dated July 6, 2022, for the dollar amount totaling $463,910.83. Of that, $68,386.04 was wired credit cards and prepaid, and $394,974.79 is remaining to be paid. And whereas the town board finds said claims, bills, and invoices to be acceptable in form and reasonable in amount, now therefore be it resolved that payment of the mentioned claims, bills, and invoices is approved, and the supervisor being hereby is authorized to make such payment, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carried. Okay, County, we're down to 21. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
Second.
Mr. Barber, Mr. Bruno. All in favor?
Aye.
Craig?